Around the world, there are some bizarre tree species that are not well known. Some of these have perfectly adapted to life in arid or hostile environments. These can often be in remote locations not frequented by humans. Today, we take a look at 5 strange trees you didn't know existed. Number 5. Found only in the desert regions of the Baja California Peninsula and Sonora, Mexico, the Bhujam tree is a highly peculiar species of plant that's perfectly adapted to the harsh terrain where it grows. Growing up to 70 feet tall, it's often said to resemble an upside-down carrot and is covered in spiny twigs that grow yellow flowers that emit a wonderful honey scent. The local Surrey people have instead referred to these trees as the Kodatax. They believe that if you were to touch it, it would cause a powerful wind to blow against you, so you were actively avoided when they were traveling through the desert. They're only found in this specific area, which remains somewhat of a mystery. However, it's thought by botanists that the only way this is possible is that they were transplanted here from the peninsula, but who did it and for what reason is not yet clear. Number 4. Baobab trees, which are often called upside-down trees, are native to Madagascar, mainland Africa, and Australia. They're known for their enormously thick trunks that usually can be as much as 36 feet wide. One particularly enormous specimen was measured as having a huge circumference of 154 feet. Some specimens have been radiocarbon dated after they died and were found to have germinated at least 2,000 years ago, around the time of the Roman Empire. The reason they have such large trunks is that they can store enough water in them to survive extended periods of drought. It's estimated they'll store up to 32,000 gallons of water. Recent changes in the climate have, however, seen a number of the older baobabs dying due to dehydration. Number 3. Flamboyant trees, which you might also know as flame trees or royal poinsettia, are species that are native to Madagascar. They are now a highly popular tree that can be seen adorning streets and backyards around the world. Due to deforestation and climate change in their natural environment, they're actually now considered to be endangered in the wild. These trees have 4 spreading petals and a 5th that grows upward, each of which are deep scarlet or orangey red, and there's a rare variety that has yellow petals instead. Each of these petals can be up to 3 inches long, so it doesn't take many to create a large canopy of color. It's no surprise they're seen as a great decorative species since being transported around the world. It's a belief of St. Thomas Christians that there was a small royal poinsettia growing near where Jesus was crucified on a cross and that his blood dripped down onto it, and this is why the petals have such a vivid red color to them. Number 2. When you're thinking of where fruits normally grow on a tree, you might imagine them growing on branches. But there's one species that takes exception to this, the Djibouti Cabinetry. They're native to several states in Mexico and have close relations to the rest of South America. They're famed for their purple-colored fruits that look a lot like grapes and grow directly on their trunks. Typically, they grow fruit once or twice a year, but when they're being cultivated, this process can be continuous because of the relative stability of the climate in the region. The fruits themselves are about 1.5 inches in diameter and have a thick skin with 4 seeds inside. The flesh is white or pink and has a sweet taste to it, and they're often seen in markets across the continent. Number 1. The Sakura blossom tree, also known as the Japanese cherry tree, is such a stunning plant that has become entwined with Japanese tradition for hundreds of years. There are more than 200 different cultivars in Japan alone, some of which grow inedible fruit and some that produce small cherries. But it's not the fruit that they're renowned for, though. The blossoms are seen in Japan as a representation of the clouds and are a meteor for the transient nature of life, a tradition called hanami, which began in the Nara period about 1300 years ago. At that time, it was only for the elite in society, but over the centuries was regularly enjoyed by all members of society. The people sit beneath the cherry blossom to eat and drink sake, enjoying flower viewing parties at their homes, local parks, and temples. Check out one of our other amazing videos.